Food prices continue to go up, but yet we're seeing sales out there on all sorts of other stuff because people can't afford anything else. We're also seeing reports that all respiratory therapists are actually being ordered to take a FEMA course on emergency preparedness. Why is that? That is interesting, isn't it? Also, we have reports on store shelves from Ireland, Australia, South Africa, UK, and all over the United States. We got lots of breaking updates that you're not going to hear anywhere else. We have a global reach of folks writing in and sharing what they're seeing on their store shelves. Let's jump right into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates. These are your reports coming in from all over the place. Please do keep sending them in. If you see something, please do share it with us. Use the word update somewhere in your comment on any one of the videos on this channel. That gets it to the right place. And let us know roughly where you are geographically so we can use that information. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group, before we dive in. If you have a retirement account and you want to get into something safer than stocks and bonds that go up and down and crash and burn and all that kind of stuff like that, and you're losing money all the time, if you want to get into something safe like gold, silver, or platinum for your retirement accounts, you might want to talk to Jonathan and his team. There'll be a link at the end of the video to find out more information. This is from Lance here. I work at Walmart in the evenings to pick up extra cash for my prepping. The clearance items are crazy. $250 for a flat screen smart TV. You can't even feed a family for a week on $250. Food prices keep going up, and yet we're seeing these type of sales. They overstocked. When it came to Black Friday and Christmas sales and stuff like that, they overstocked on TVs. They thought everyone's going to want a new smart TV. But here's the thing, is like, they didn't realize that one, people are broke. And two, people who had smart TVs already had smart TVs. You know, people who wanted them already had them, and you don't need to replace them every year or anything like that, and you don't need to keep getting bigger ones. I have a hand-me-down. It's not a smart TV, but it has a plug that I can put the little dongle thing in there, right? And it works just fine, right? Yeah, it'd be nice to have a new TV. It'd be nice to have a bigger TV or whatever, but I'm not going to spend money on that. I got mine for free because it was too big for somebody, which was fantastic. I was like, it's not too big for me. But we're seeing prices on food keeps going up, but TVs and everything else seems to be coming down. The things that people don't actually need. Randall says, in the UK, my last energy bill had a paragraph stating that they will inform me when the blackouts will be used. When the blackouts will be used. Yay for green energy. Imagine you getting that letter in the 1980s or the 1990s. When we use blackouts on you, wouldn't you be like, what is going on? Why are we having a crisis? But now it's like, oh, okay, yeah, because green energy is unsustainable. Why wouldn't we have power outages, right? And before, a bunch of you are getting in the comments and like, green energy is not unreliable. It absolutely is. Like, there is, without government subsidies, green energy is not worth anyone's time. The only reason out there is because of taxpayer subsidies. You can't change my mind. Now, I have a home solar system because of the instability at the national level. I have my own solar power system here at the house. Because that's the cheapest way to go when it comes to home houses. It's best to have battery packs with solar. It just is. But at the national level, it doesn't make sense. It's stupid. Carol says, my husband works at Walmart in the asset management department. They confront people all the time, and if they run out the door with goods, they are not allowed to go after them or touch them. So we're seeing that people are pretty clear, knowing how we cannot do anything to them. James says, I found out that from other propane companies that Walmart is cutting back on the amount of propane that they are putting in refills and also in the 1 liter or the 1 pound canisters. So be aware of that. James has some insider information there on the fact that Walmart is cutting back even more. Now, we've already known that. If you go and do your propane exchanges, usually they give you like 15 pounds in the 20-pound canisters, right? But apparently they're dropping that even further, and the 1 pound canisters don't have a one pound of gas in them anymore. Amanda says, by the way, those little 1 pound canisters, you can actually refill them. Go on YouTube, type in how to refill a 1 pound propane canister, and if you have the adapter, you can actually refill the 1 pound canisters from the 20 pound canisters, and that can be super useful to a lot of you. You can get the 20 pound canisters refilled at some like stores, some like gas stations and stuff like that have propane, and you can refill the 20 pound canister up to 20 pounds. It's got to have a good stamp on it. It's got to be still inspected, but other than that, you can get the 20 pounds in there, and then you can refill a bunch of 1 pounders. There are ways of doing that. Amanda says, I have been seeing post after post in my local, which is in northern Kentucky, groups about people needing food assistance because their government assistance isn't enough to get them by. Food prices continue to go up, right? Food stamp handouts have gone down. That's a fact. Since the cough, they went up dramatically during the cough period, but then they came back down to where they were before without inflation, without a lot of inflation adjustment. And so people are finding that their food stamps are not covering nearly what they used to back in the day. Now, that is just what it is. So many of the area's food banks and assistance nonprofits are out of funds currently as well, because there's so many more people needing assistance, wanting assistance. Now I will say this: if people on food stamps really budget well and purchase things that are cheaper, I'm not saying that's what people should do or whatever, but if you do purchase things that are cheaper, I mean, mixing in some rice and beans out there. Dave Ramsey is telling future millionaires that they need to be on a rice and beans diet now so they can be better off tomorrow. I think it's not unfair to say if people are struggling, there are ways to cut your grocery bills significantly if you penny pinch. Now, I know some of you are out there like, I am penny pinching and it's really, really tough. I'm not taking away from that at all. Now, and I know that many of us have been in the store and we've seen somebody swipe that food stamp card, whether they have multiple food stamps or whether they're defrauding the system or whatever, and their shopping cart is heaped up with things that, you know, are like steak and stuff like that. It's like that I can't afford. And we've all had those experiences too. There's a lot of fraud out there or whatever, but there are ways to get by with very little food costs if you're willing to cut those corners. Is it the best thing for your health? Maybe not, but there are ways of, you know, more intensive cooking, right? So now that I've offended everybody from what I've just said on both sides of things, take it for what it's worth. Triona says, I'm in Ireland and prices are crazy. To me, at least. I've noticed Tesco, which is a store over there, have put barriers and moved all the shelves around. They put up barriers to get out of the store, right? Households is now twice the size of that it was. So household goods, as opposed to food, is twice as big. And the food is only filling 1/3 of the, at most, of the store. So the grocery store, only 1/3 of the grocery store is actually food. They're moving us into a new world order. I hope you guys are paying attention. The Irish brand Dunn's stores, I noticed, have condensed the shelves too. And lots of packets of soup fronting the shelves as well. So they're putting lots of packets of soup like ramen noodles and stuff like that. I can't shop there anymore. It's gone way too expensive. Too expensive, and what they have is becoming less and less. It's going to be ramen noodles and bugs for everybody, friends, soon. Garden says, thank you for these book recommendations. Are there any grid down prepping books that you recommend also? Watch your show all the time and I take notes, but need a complete list of everything I need. Unfortunately, getting you a list of all the books that you could possibly need out there is far beyond what I can do. But what I can do is give you some categories here. I actually wasn't prepared to put this in this update, but it was on the list, so here it is. Some things, some general preparedness books are really good to have. Books like, and this is just, I'm reading off a list here that someone else prepared. The SAS Survival Handbook, that's a good one. Survival Doctor's Complete Handbook. I've mentioned Where There Is No Doctor, of course. So general all-around stuff, but then medical books. You need that as well. But then outdoor and bushcraft kind of books are really helpful. Even home repair and basic construction books are good. Things that will teach you how to build things that don't require power, but still operate, like smokehouses and chicken coops and all these kind of basic construction things that we used to know how to do. A lot of people don't know how to build anymore. We don't want to look at my chicken coop, because my chicken coop that I tried building was a complete disaster. I didn't really have a plan. I was just hammering stuff together just to try to throw something together. But we get that out there. So having some books that will guide you in how to kind of rebuild after things kind of collapse, or if you need to really penny pinch out there. So also, you know, so there's like homesteading books and self-sufficient living kind of books. There's a lot of different, like the Self-Sufficient Life and How to Live It. I actually have that book downstairs myself. That's a good one. It's got lots of illustrations, lots of ideas that will really get you thinking about being more self-sufficient. Books on foraging, particularly in your area, like what plants can you eat, what plants can you not eat. That's a really important one, right? Also about books about how to grow food, how to garden. Those are important. Fishing, trapping, hunting books, big preserving food books is good. Even cookbooks, especially for recipes that are good for the food that you're stockpiling, right? Also, self-defense books are real important as well. So those are some ideas for you. Great Dane Rescue Mom says, South New Jersey. Went to same club yesterday, and when you walked in, you were told that they were, sorry, Sam's Club probably, that you were told that they were not accepting cash. Not accepting cash in Sam's Club. Steven says, Clinton Township, Michigan. Super Walmart is back up and running. They were concerned about that. But after the renovation, the aisles are much wider, and it seems like some things are missing that used to be there. And they bulked up the clothing section. Are you seeing a little bit of a trend here? In the UK, Ireland, we're seeing, in the United States, we're seeing this trend of more clothing, less food. They also installed cameras in the cosmetics and shampoo areas, because people stealing shampoo are a big issue. It's crazy. I can't imagine people stealing shampoo. Like, just imagine being in prison and they're like, what are you in for? I stole some shampoo. That's crazy. But the fact that we're all being watched by Soviet Union style Siberian eyes is absolutely crazy. Australian woman says, Australia has the highest unemployment rate now in years, and people aren't spending money like they used to. New home builds are way down as well. A new depression is on its way. Soul Shaker says, everyone, take care of yourself as best as you can, because you do not want to be in the hospital right now. They're short-staffed. They're short on supplies because of the cargo ships and truck drivers and the trains. They also seem all very highly stressed at hospitals. Let me know if you're a nurse or a doctor, or if you work at a hospital and you're seeing a high level of stress among people that are working there. But then also there is a very high level of lawsuits that are taking place right now in the last 4 years due to the cough and other things. But they're having to deal with all these court cases as well. And it's just they don't have the supplies they need, and they're understaffed. So be aware, with all these people in the ER, all these people going to get all sorts of things checked up right now, that is not a place you want to be. So be watching your health and trying to stay out of the hospital as best you can. Clyde says, respiratory therapy director here, South Louisiana. All directors, supervisors, and lead therapists / nurses are now being required to take a FEMA course on emergency preparedness. Why is that happening, friends? I don't know. You let me know. Renee says a family member works for a company that does military contracts in Northeast Ohio. They hired a large group of non-English speaking people, wonder who those are, with no translator, and they're expected to train them. They're making military stuff for the military supplies. How accurate will their production be? That's a good question. Parrot Africa. We got a couple more updates here, friends. These are big ones you don't want to miss out on. Parrot Africa in South Africa. Meat purchases are getting harder, and I have noted chicken fillets go out of stock very quickly. They're having big supply chain issues in South Africa, power issues. And I was just speaking with someone just the other day who is down in South Africa, and they're having power issues even in Cape Town right now. Fresh whole birds are also disappearing, especially the ones in the farmer range. And the alternative brand is also going out of stock. Online shopping is becoming a headache at Checkers, which is one of their stores there. Tanya says, West Yorkshire, UK. Went shopping at my local Aldi today. New Zealand lamb steaks and chops were almost gone. I asked a member of staff what was going on, and she told me, that's it now. We've been told we can't get any more of this. So New Zealand steaks, they can't get them in the UK anymore. So I suggested to her, it's probably due to the Suez Canal issue and the Red Sea, right? And she just shrugged. I also noticed that they had plenty of toilet paper rolls, but only in really small packs. Normally they have them in 9 to 24 packs, but now they're only in small packs of 4. Some of the cages and pallets at the end of the aisles have also disappeared, leaving just empty spaces. We're seeing this in one country after the next. We're seeing less food put out, less products out. They are shrinking their inventory dramatically. Friends, you need to be paying attention and getting stocked up now. If you want to get some more information about Genesis Gold and what they can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video from the channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.